Good evening, everybody. Welcome to F1XL Division 1. I am your commentator, Chips and Davie. Oh, heard myself there, just making sure. At least I know when my microphone's working. Anyway, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing very well. Again, Chips and Davie here providing you live commentary of Division 1 here in Melbourne. And we can see it is quite a cloudy looking day here. I suppose I tell a lie, it's actually not a cloud in the sky. That's a really great start for the commentary here in Melbourne. As we just see MC Jimmy B, it looks like he's the first to go out. No, he's not, it's somebody else on track here. But right, we're a mess. Let's get started. Let's get this show underway. So let's get this track up, and it's a Mercedes that's out for first. To believe it is Deathlink, yes it is. And while he's going round on his outlap, let's fill you in on the classic old F1 Melbourne Grand Prix fun facts. I know everybody loves them. So, Albert Park, we all know that. It's a semi-street circuit, as we well know, as you can see the markings on the road there. The track's about 5.2 kilometres long with fast straights and tricky corners, making it a driver favourite. We all like this track, don't we? Scenic lake and powerful parkland setting make it one of the most picturesque races on the calendar. First held, the Australian Grand Prix was first held in 1928. Don't know where, but I can tell you that it's been to Adelaide and now, of course, Melbourne, which is usually the season opener in real life F1. But it has been other tracks, maybe such as Bahrain and I think maybe China as well, if my memory serves me, back in the day. Back in the day, I mean like maybe 10-15 years ago. But anyway, Deathlink just starting his flying lap. Looking to get a solid lap in here on his banker. Considering from last week's stats, we're just going to have a quick look at these. Quick dead. Sorry, no, that's his teammate. We are absolutely flying today. Deathlink, I believe his finishing last week wasn't the greatest. They did DNF in Singapore. I think that was a retirement of some sort. He did crash in that bridge, didn't he, in Sector 2? I think we remember that. We didn't catch that on stream, but yeah, it was a DNF for Deathlink in last week's very eventful Singapore Grand Prix. We'll be looking to kind of put that right. His best finish so far in this season is 8th position. That came twice, once at Qatar and once in the sprint at Silverstone. But there is only 11 drivers tonight, which is a bit of a shame, as we did have a fuller lobby last week. But these things happen, and excuse me, these things happen, and yeah. I mean, some people get busy and some people aren't so busy, and sometimes they can turn up when they can, and that's absolutely fine. As we see, Deathlink just set a time of a 16.5, already beaten by JJ, who set a time of a 16.5 as well, just a few hundredths ahead. And MC Jamie B, well, on 16.3, 2/10 faster. They're all coming thick and fast here, and he's the fastest man on the track just now. And we see Twanga Garlic coming across the line in a 16.4 there, and it looks like maybe Quick Dead just starting his lap as well there. And everybody is out on track, bar the, I believe that could be an Alpine in the pits. Yes, it is Judgy. It is Judgy who's currently in the pits. I'm going to hop on board with last week's race winner again, Krabs, and obviously won the race in the end in convincing fashion, but not without its share of drama, as he did make a couple of incidents in the race. But let's not talk about that, as he is up on his time in Harrison, just coming across the line there, and a very impressive 15.7, 6/10 clear of MC Jamie B, and we've just seen Sport Mad there just sliding coming at the final corner. It is a bugger, that final corner. And we see Krabs in the pink Racing Bull. He's changed it up this week, thankfully. It means I can tell him away from the Red Bulls a bit better, as he comes down to the straight DRS Open, and the time's looking quick here. It's going to be in the 16s. It is a 16.5, so he's still got a little bit to go. He's 7/10 back from the current pole sitter Harrison. We see Gamerman Steph coming across the line. He hits the 15s as well. We're going to hop on with Quick Dead here as well, who crosses the line in a 16.5 for the Mercedes driver. So far, Harrison again setting the pace in qualifying. Very impressive time with 15.779. Gamerman Steph showing the most intent with only a 10th behind Harrison at the moment. And Gamerman Steph been very impressive this stage of the season. Obviously had the incident last week, unfortunately, with MCJB in Sector 1 on the inside and put it into the barrier. But he has been very consistent after Saudi. He finished five podiums in a row before his incident at Singapore last week, so he'll be a wee bit upset he couldn't keep that momentum going, but I'm sure he's dusted himself off and he's ready to go again, as it seems as he's sitting second at the moment in qualifying. And we'll hop on as everybody, most folk are coming in to the pits after their first run, and it is now Judgy who is looking to get the track all to himself, and he is ready to set a time as we are missing a fair few drivers tonight. But that just the best opportunity you can take now is that you've got a great chance to score some points tonight. If you're not a normal, if you're not normally sitting in the top 10, now's a good chance to do well for your constructor. Every point matters, so not to be too disheartened with the lack of drivers in the grid tonight. It's a good chance for you and your team to really grab some points. Excuse me. So I want to stay on board with Judgy here. So we do see a car in front just coming out of the pits. That looks like it's a Mercedes, and it could be Deathlink, who's out in an out lap again already. So straight into the pits and straight back out. Judgy so far looking pretty quick in this first sector, but it looks like he's maybe made a small mistake there. He did. A bit apprehensive on pressing the throttle down there, but he is back up and running. This Alpine looking very nice. I do like this livery as it comes up to this, one of my favourite corners in the game. The quick left and the quick right, drops it down, runs it out wide, DRS open, it's up to 7th gear. Beautiful. Yeah, looking very tidy through there. Runs a little bit wide coming at the exit of that corner, and managed to just about hit the apex there. Just kissing it ever so slightly and just feather the throttle around the final corner onto the start finish straight. And what time is this going to be for Judgy? It's a 1:17.4. So a little bit to go. He's 2/10 behind Dixie, who's currently sitting in 9th position, who's just starting his outlap. Now he's just finishing his outlap and he's about to do his main lap. So there we go. We're going to see who's coming round here the furthest. So MCJB still sitting in sector 1. Deathlink looks like he's just finishing his second flying lap. DRS open again, coming across the line. This is looking pretty quick as well. It's a 1:17. He's 5/10 down on his previous time. He must have made a bit of a mistake there, which is a shame. We'll hop on with JJ, who is abandoning his lap. Haas driver there. And we've got to hop on board with. We'll see who else is coming across the line. Maybe Quick Dead on his outlap. He's just coming round to the final section now. Deathlink on the way in. Dixie looks like there's a bit of draft in there between the two McLarens, as Gamerman Steph helping out his teammate, and Dixie looking very quick coming round that corner there, just coming around the exit, looking very quick in that McLaren. He gets very late on the brakes there, and oh, look how quick that is around there. Again, Dixie, the VR driver, sporting a Senna-esque style helmet this evening. And again, if you haven't seen this boy's streams on Twitch, go and check them out in VR. One of the few, well, one of the only drivers I think running a VR setup in this league. Judgy is about to come in there, and Sport Mad looking to not spin in the final corner and coming across set of time, and he sets a 1:15.8. He's only a couple of hundreds back here from Harrison. That's an incredible time from the Ferrari driver. A very good job there. We'll hop on board with F1 Garlic, who's just coming across the line, so he goes 2/10 faster. That's a 16.2. That puts him up to 4th position. And then who's next? Harrison's still in the pits at the moment. Dixie on his in lap. Quick Dead on a flyer, he's 2/10 up. And maybe looking like he's getting on the grass there, using every part of the track he can and then some. And he is 2/10 up here, so he maybe made this a mistake the first time round this section. He's looking pretty quick here. And we'll see what kind of time he sets here. That is going to be into the 16s. It's a 16.2. It puts 3/10 up, and that's still a couple of tenths behind Gamerman, Steph, Sportmad and Harrison, who seem to be in a world of their own at the moment, but Crab's just starting his lap as well, I believe. And Crab's looking very content at the top of the table in the standings at the moment. He is currently 50 points clear at the top after the race in Singapore last week, where his championship rival Harrison finished 12th after a couple of incidents with a driver who's now out for the season. And of course, Quick Dead sitting 2nd position, just above Harrison by 8 points, sorry, but 43 points behind the league leader Krabs, who's looking like he's on course to wrap up this title in the coming weeks. And he locks up coming into the left-hander there, and then coming into the right-hand tricky traction section. Never liked that corner, that's been a nightmare. And he's crossing line. This is looking very quick. It's a 15.9, that puts him 4th. So, with 1 run to go and 6 minutes remaining, Krabs really has to improve by a tenth or two if he's got any chance of starting on the front row. Hop on. But I do like this quiet lobby. I'm getting a lot of coverage here for all the drivers in the grid, so I'm happy. I'm happy with this. Of course, I'd like to see a bigger grid, but it means I give more of you guys a bit of a broadcasting time, and we can't be too mad at that, you know. So yeah, JJ here, looking to improve on that 116.5, currently sitting in 8th position, only 2/10, well, a tenth or so behind MCJ maybe, a tenth in the change, I would say, as he comes round that fast sweeping left right hander. Really getting down the gears there as he's braking so hard, and it's a bit of a correction there that might cost him a little bit of time. And the car's struggling to get into that corner, the tyres maybe screaming at him a little from the lockup, and he looks like he's maybe abandoning this lap. Yes, he is. I think that's maybe the mistakes in sector 2 into sector 3 there, maybe thought better of it. He knew his time was down. And Judgy here, just setting his lap. He's about to come across the line, and it's going to be in the 17s. It's a 17.2, and it's a 2/10 improvement on his lap. And Sportmad in the background there, just coming out the pits as well. So we'll get on board with him. It's Judgy. Only 3/10 back from Dixie. It's the final points position. We'll be wanting to start as strongly as possible to have any chance of the only driver not to score any points tonight. You don't want to be in that boat. We'll just have a quick look here since it is quiet tonight, guys. We'll have a little look at who's in here. Jack Whittle's in here. Hello, sorry you're not racing, mate. Would love to have seen you on the track. MC Jamie B, who's currently in the pits there. How you doing? I'm sure I've seen Critical Skills in there as well. Nice to see him, but he's left, so thanks, mate. But since I have seen the broadcast list here, Jack Whitland, and I know he loves the stats, I'm wondering if he can play a little quiz with me here, because The first race was held in 1928, apparently, in Australia for Formula 1, which I find very difficult to believe. I think that might just be a general motorsport event, not an actual race, but I'm not too sure. Can you tell me what the first track was that they raced in F1 around here? Because I think it's either Melbourne, it's definitely not Melbourne, but I think it could be Adelaide, but I don't know if they went around Phillip Island or any of the other fantastic tracks in this wonderful country. I just remember Adelaide. Back in the 90s, it made for some excellent racing, which was also a street circuit, and it made for some excellent viewing. If you ever get a chance, get onto YouTube and have a look back at Adelaide races from the 90s, especially maybe, is it 92, 93? And Mansell, PK and Senna, I think they had a right old ding dong round there. And that was probably the last of the generation. Obviously when Mansell, I believe, retired the season after. PK, I think, retired that very season, and Senna, of course, unfortunately we lost him at Imola the following season as well, so they don't make them like that anymore, unfortunately. And it was a good era for cars as well, with those, was it the V10s I think they were still running back then as well, or even the V12s I should say. But we're going to snap out of it and get back onto Sportmat here. It looks like who's running maybe 2 outlaps. It did look like he was on it there, but he's maybe thought better of it, and his time maybe would have been down, but he's going again, and hop on board with him here real quick. And that battery is fully charged again, so ready for round 2 as we approach the final minute of qualifying before the checkered flag. Everybody is out on track, just doing an outlap. We'll hop on with Deathlink here, who's slowing up as well, maybe looking to recharge the battery for another stab at it. JJ just crossing the line there, he gets a big mistake there coming out of turn 1, and that's not how you want to start that. He's not going to have time to get round for another lap, and that's not how you want to start your final quali run. A quick dead 3/10 up looking here on his time. He must have absolutely smashed the first corner. First race in Australia was 1905, Aspendale Park in Victoria. Wow. That's unbelievable. But quick dead now, so I was showing a half a tenth down. It was showing us 3/10 up there. We'll hop on board with... Who's that crossing the line there? Is that just a start at a time? No, it's just a start. Sportmad, who's had 2 outlaps. He comes across the DRS line into the finish line, and it's looking pretty quick here. This could be 15s. He's going pole so far with a 15.631, and that's a really quick time. And we're going to try and get on board with as many people as we can here, as we see JJ now coming across the line, and it's looking quick as well. He could be into the low 16s here. It doesn't improve. 2/10 down. Going to now hop on board with cameraman Steph, who comes across the line looking to snatch pole. He's not, he's snatched second at the moment. Harrison now coming across the line. The time is a 1:15.4 from Harrison. He's taking back pole, and now Crab's coming across the line. What can he do? It's going to be close. It's a 16 flat. He's not improved. Next up, Deathlink comes across the line. He stays 10th position. Twine Garlic, MC Jamie B's abandoned the lap. Twine Garlic going to be the last one across the line here. And it's going to be an improvement, but not enough for 5th position, as he stays 6th with 1:16.19. But it is Harrison with a fairly intense qualifying at the end there. Just stealing pole position. Again, another pole position for the young Englishman. And hopefully, eventually looking to put it to good use here tonight in Melbourne. And a really brief rundown of the qualifying results. So it is Harrison on pole by 1.5 tenths to Sportmad, followed by Gamerman Steph, and Crabs in 4th, Quick Dead 5th, Twine Garlic 6th, MC Jamie B in 7th, followed by Dixie in 8th, JJ in 9th, 10th position belongs to Deathlink, and 11th place is Judge 823. and Crabs, with the win last week, has got a bit of work to do here, as it is quite a tricky place to overtake. Maybe your main overtaking zones are turn 3, and maybe the DRS zone coming out the quick left, right in sector 2. You've got another DRS straight, and you can send it inside on the right hander. Other than that, there's not a whole load of places to overtake here. It's very difficult with I believe it's 4 DRS zones around here. It's really difficult to overtake. You've got DRS on the start-finish straight. You've got the DRS after turn 2. You've got the DRS on the old section, the chicane section, where the chicane used to be, and then another DRS straight after the quick left right in sector 2. So very difficult to break the 1 second barrier, and we're going to be in for a bit of a treat tonight, because not a lot of guys are going to be able to do that, and I think we're going to see a lot of bunching up. Obviously, like I say, it's quite difficult to break the DRS. I think a lot of it's going to come down to undercuts, incidents, and a bit of luck as well. But hopefully less incidents as we'd had last week, and yeah, we'll look forward to get going here. So, since we're waiting for the guys to start their formation lap, some fun facts for you again, Jack, since you're here. Notorious for being a green track, low grip early in the weekend. We did see that quite a lot, even with the new cars as well. A lot of guys struggled in the early practice sessions around here. Tyre wear and strategy are crucial due to constant evolving conditions. Overtaking, like we said earlier, is going to be tricky, but the DRS zones, 4 included, will help create action. Australia has never actually had a home winner. Daniel Ricciardo famously finished second in 2014, but he got disqualified. Mark Webber never won his home race despite strong performances. I believe he finished like 6th or 7th in a Minardi back in the day as well, in his debut race. Way back, maybe 2000, when would that have been? 2007, 2008 maybe? Somebody correct me on that. Most wins here in real life, Michael Schumacher, 4 in the Melbourne era. Most poles, Schumacher again dominates qualifying. The race has had more safety cars than almost any other circuit in modern F1. That's crazy. But I suppose it is being the first race of the season. Everybody's maybe still adapting to their new car. Maybe a lot of rookies starting their first race, and the conditions here as well can change quite a lot as well. We've seen that in Australia last year in real life, where Hadjar famously binned it in the first corner in the I think it was a formation lap actually, and the conditions then were pretty terrible as well. 2002, the Australian Grand Prix had one of the biggest pile-ups ever. We remember if Michael Schumacher in turn 1 getting hit by his brother, and his brother went maybe 30 feet in the air into the runoff area at turn 1. The race is famous for opening lap madness. Drivers are rusty after the off-season, that's what we just said. Red flags and restarts have become more common in recent years. That's because the red flag rules and stuff are a lot stricter nowadays than what they would have been like maybe 5-10 years ago. Unexpected winners, Jenson Button in 2009 and Bronze GP's fairy tale debut win, and it wasn't their fairy tale. It wasn't their debut win. It was also their debut start. Kimi Räikkönen in 2013 won with a genius tyre strategy. Don't remember that. Valtteri Bottas in 2019 dominated and dropped the iconic "To whom it may concern" line in 2019. And it's often, like we said earlier, Mark Webber and Daniel Ricciardo have came closest to winning, and it's often called the home curse here because of a lack of an Australian born winner. But I'm sure Oscar Piastri will maybe set that in years to come, as he's looking like a very bright driver, although his car might suggest otherwise this season, but we'll see how that develops. Last driver champion who was Australian was 1980 though. 1980. Australian champion 1980. That wouldn't have been Bruce McLaren. Bruce McLaren wasn't Australian, was he? Alan Jones, maybe? Is that Alan Jones? Alan Jones, is that his era roughly? Might have been Alan Jones. I'll need to Google that after the race, but Jack, if you're there, you can maybe correct me. It could be Alan Jones, but I don't know if I don't think Bruce McLaren. I don't know if he. I don't think he was Australian. Or I don't even think he actually won. Maybe I don't know. Alan Jones. Ah, boom. Oh. See, I know some good stats, but I know some shockers as well. I don't know like some other ones as well. Like some of the ones that I don't get are shockers as well. I'm going to stop rambling. Anyway, back to the race here, guys. Looks like almost everyone is starting on the mediums, with Twang, Garlic and Georgie starting on the hards. And it is Harrison who lines up on the grid in pole position. As we're going to get going here. And that's a terrific camera angle. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. As we get going here. And it looks like a car's ghosted in the front. Now, maybe a few of them look ghosted there. But we're ready to go here in Melbourne. It's 3, 4, 5 lights. And go. Drive-through penalty for MC Jamie B from a jump start. But it is Krabs who gets away. Harrison's dropped down the order. Don't know what's happened there. But Sportmad takes lead. MC Jamie B also takes second position. JJ also gets an issue as well. There's 2 jump starts here on the grid already. And judging Harrison's dropped down the pecking order. What's going on with Harrison there? He's got an issue. Dixie looking to defend already onto Harrison, but it's Sportmad who takes the lead early here. Quick dead Gamerman Steph also dropping down as well. JJ giving him issues. JJ also had the penalty there, and that's a drive through for JJ as well. So we've got 2 drive throughs for a jump start. Don't know if maybe a bit of lag played its part there, but it is MC Jamie B in second, Sportmad first, Krabs third, Quick Dead fourth, Gamerman Steph, JJ, Triangle Garlic, Deathling, Harrison 9th position, Dixie in 10th, Judgy in 11th. I do wonder what happened at the start there, but it is Sportmad in the lead. Is DRS now open? MC Jamie B does come in to serve his drive-through immediately. And thankfully it is a drive-through, not a stop go like it would have been in the olden days, but MC Jamie B getting the drive-through out the way fairly quickly, and Krabs gets the move done on the Quick Dead. Oh sorry, it was MC Jamie B second, but Gamerman Steph also chasing down Quick Dead sitting in 3rd position, 8/10 back from Krabs, 9/10 back from Sportmad. And Harrison having to fight his way through the field early on as Deathlink. Try to get onto the side by side with Twang and Garlic. Twang and Garlic maybe looking to play the ultimate team role here as he does make slight contact. Deathlink having to hop over the curb there, which is absolutely legal. And he lets his teammate Harrison through, who's already back up to 7th place. We're going to hop back on with the leaders here. Sportmad still in the lead from Krabs to Quick Dead, Gamerman Steph and JJ. JJ now 1.2 seconds back from the leaders. It'll be a good time for him to serve his penalty. He might wait the full 3 laps though. As Quick Dead sets the fastest lap so far with a 1:19.009. And Harrison now getting past Deathlink as well. Harrison making moves early on in this race, and he's definitely having to get going here after that incident at the start. Don't know what happened to him, he just seemed to bog down. Not too sure what went on, but we move on. And Deathlink and Harrison having the right old scrap here. Deathlink does get the move done on Harrison, and Deathlink maybe looking to try and hold Harrison up a little bit here and ensure his teammate's position. And Harrison now DRS open, he gets the move done. A late move on the inside there, but he's made it count. And in the inside goes Harrison up into 6th position. His Deathlink looked like he was cutting the corner a little bit there, and again he was taking those corners quite aggressively, and Harrison's got to be careful here. His Deathlink is coming up and thick and fast, but Harrison actually does still have the DRS as he made that move just after the line, it seems. And Harrison maybe playing a bit of a clever tactic, making sure he had the DRS for that straight though. But Sportmad struggling to get away here as Krabs looking to hunt him down. DRS open for Krabs as he is getting ever closer, and JJ does eventually come into the pits to serve his penalty, and he'll be joining MC Jamie B at the back for a bit of company. But MC Jamie B looks like he's had an absolute flyer coming back out the pits as he's looking to pass JJ by a considerable margin. And Twangy Garlic and Deathlink now having a bit of a scrap here as Twangy Garlic does get past the Mercedes. Twangy Garlic now 1.1 seconds adrift, so this is now a case of from Deathlink trying to hold up Harrison for his teammate. It looks like Twangy Garlic maybe now trying to hold up Deathlink for his teammate. Is Dixie looking to get involved? Very close there, Dixie is. He gets right on the back end of Deathlink. And Twangy Garlic still in the lead of that little collection of cars, but Deathlink having a little look, not quite yet. And Deathlink running really wide there, desperate to get past this Williams driver. He's maybe got a good chance of it on this straight. As the back end of that car is looking very, very swirly coming out of that left-hander. And you see Krabs has actually taken the lead from Sportmad. And Sportmad looking to get this back. It's going to be very tricky for Krabs to hold on to this. It's Quick Dead and Gamerman Steph joining in on the hunt. And Harrison 2.5 seconds back from the leaders. He's going to have to use every inch of power he can get out of that Williams to catch up to these guys and nullify the DRS advantage. As he is making good work of it so far. He's now 2 seconds behind. He was initially 3 seconds back from the lap before. And Sportmad now got Quick Dead for company. As Quick Dead's looking to get really close here, but backs off ever so slightly. He knows that Sportmad's got the pace here. They stick with Krabs, and even Krabs won't be able to break the DRS round here as Sportmad has a little look. Deathlink gets a penalty, 3 seconds. And that's a fantastic cam wrangle there as Sportmad just coming around the final corner. And Krabs still in the lead at the moment, lap 6. Looking to cement his spot. And Harrison now 1.6 behind Gamerman Steph. He's making some good progress so far after his start. And Quick Dead's pushing Sportmad round there slightly as Krabs gets a wee bit out of shape coming out that corner. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, and Sportmad will be licking his lips there as he's coming up to the DRS straight, sector 2. These conditions, it's a very hot day it seems in Melbourne. And track conditions, these tyres won't be liking them too much as Sportmad is losing grip of Krabs here, even with DRS open. He's now about 6/10 back there from the Racing Bulls driver. And he is struggling to keep with him even with DRS. That just goes to show you how quick Krabs is here. And we now see Harrison in the background ready to join this fight for the top 5. For Krabs sitting in pole position at the moment. Sportmad maybe even taking a battery break on that lap, just getting ready to attack Krabs here. He's not letting him go just yet. Krabs did pull a good gap in sector 1 on lap 6, but Sportmad ready to attack again. Pop back to Dixie here real quick, who's all over the back of that Mercedes, still desperate to get through. Definitely looking like he's struggling a little bit on those tyres. He does have a 3-second penalty, and he's clipping the wall on the outside. He is really struggling to get going here, as he has lost sight now of Twang and Garlic as well. Harrison now just within the second. He's got DRS. He's ready to join the party. Better late than never. And Dixie, DRS on quick dead, round the outside. Definitely trying to make it as difficult as possible for McLaren, but Dixie says thank you very much, I'll have that. Definitely gets another penalty for track limits. He's not enjoying that section of the track too much. And look at this now, Sportmad now within 3/10 of Krabs. Coming up to another DRS straight. And this is slowly boiling into a very nice race here, as Krabs can't seem to shake this pack chasing him. Sportmad maintaining his patience here. See Deathlink coming into the pits. Yep, he is pitting on off those hard tyres. Only, well, he is on the hard tyre now, do apologise. But those mediums only done 8 laps and he's already had enough of them. And Deathlink looking to really get going here, as he has struggled with 2 track limit penalties. He's up to 6 seconds of penalties now. And maybe that hard tyre will work a bit better in his favour, as we see Quick Dead kind of starting to get a little bit impatient here. You can tell he does have the pace on Sportmad, but he's just playing the waiting game at the moment. There's Harrison now in the mix as well. Gamerman Steph just keeping himself to himself at the moment and just letting these guys in front race, and he'll attack at the right time. I always find it fascinating seeing the different line that everybody approaches there. Krabs seems to run a little bit wider coming into the final 2 sections, but Sportmad really attacks these corners. And look at that. Top 5 now separated by about 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds. And they're only on lap 9. Sportmad gets a fantastic run coming out of that second corner there. And maybe looking to have a look. No, he's way too far back. He has to be much closer than that. It's very difficult to follow around that section as well. The airflow of the car in front, as he does get a massive slide coming at that corner. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. And Krabs going to make full advantage of that and burn some battery on that little mini straight there before the DRS straight. But again, Sportmad gets a fantastic run coming out of that corner and having to push Krabs all the way around here. And I don't know if he's going to get close enough, as we see Dixie get a 3-second penalty for track limits. Sportmad, not quite yet. Oh, he had a massive spike there, and off he goes, and he's just Gamerman Steph just about avoids him, and Harrison manages to get past as well. And it could be time for Sportmad to maybe switch onto the hard tyre himself, as he's looking to. He was really struggling in that dirty air of Krabs there. Now Quick Dead, he's got a bit of breathing room. He's not got a Ferrari in front of him now, and now it's his chance to really get the chase on. His Gamerman Steph now sliding coming out the final corner as well. So a lot of these guys struggling really badly on these medium tyres. So they look at the medium tyre on Gamerman Steph's car. I'm going to hop on board with him again real quick. Those tyres at the front looking absolutely awful. The ones at the rear not looking terrible. A little bit of blistering, nothing too bad. We'll hop on board with Harrison, whose tyres are maybe looking a little bit worse for wear at the back than Steph's are. We'll hop on with Krabs, who's fighting for his life at the moment, and that front left really looking a little bit miserable as well. As those rears also, they're not looking terrible either, but I'm sure they perhaps disagree with how they're feeling. As Sportmad now picks up a 3-second penalty for track limits, and then it's the same corner that Deathlink's done it twice. They're really struggling on these tyres now, it seems. But Quick Dead now slowly reeling in the Racing Bulls driver. Krabs is locked up into the corner there, and nobody pits as of yet. Quick Dead with a little bit of company. in the back there. But Gamer Man Steph just happy to sit where he is at the moment as he looks to chase down Krabs here, using all that battery there. Battery's running quite low as well. Really attacking that inside curb there as well, and Krabs really ringing that car out to their eyes. He does get a little slide coming out of the exit of that corner. So a lot of guys really struggling on these tyres at the moment, and it's a true test of the skill involved to get these tyres to as long as they can go. But if it was me, I think I would have pitted by now, because they just do not look pleasant at all. I think maybe these tyres maybe go to lap 12, 13 and then run on the hard, but look at the speed difference there from Quick Dead onto Krabs. Really patient throttle control required there as Krabs runs quite wide there. But he's maintaining his position for the time being. And Quick Dead really attacking that corner there as well, and he's really getting stuck into this track. Krabs running wide again, locking up again. And it's Krabs, it's boxing, Quick Dead stays out. Steph stays out. Quick Dead gets a snap of oversteer there coming at the exit of that corner. That might hinder his straight line speed here, but he gets away with it. Gamer Man Steph still sitting in the background there, as is Harrison. And Sport Mad now still sitting out as well, as Krabs has come into the pits. So your current leader is Quick Dead, followed by Gamer Man Steph, currently sitting second for the time being, as is Harrison all over the back of that McLaren. Sport Mad in fourth, and Judgy also looking to get back involved in the fight here against Dixie's. He's now on the hard tyres as well, as he did start on the hard tyres. I do apologise, let me just confirm that. He did, yeah, he's on a 11 lap old hard tyres. And the thing is with this as well is that Krabs isn't coming out to traffic really. He's not got much going on, and Deathlink's retired. What has happened there? He looks like he's binned it. Let's hop on board with JJ, and that is a safety car. So Krabs with the, let's see what's happened here. So Deathlink, wow, look at that. Deathlink looks like he's lost it at the exit of that corner, and he's smashed it straight into the barrier. And that's a real shame for the Mercedes driver. He's not had a whole lot of luck in recent weeks, and Krabs will not be too amused as he has pitted. And it looks like now everybody's going to be coming into the pits here, and it's going to get busy. And where does this put Krabs? As the Delta is active, so he won't be able to get the foot down just yet. But Harrison also managing to get in front of Quick Dead. Was that in the pits as well? Was that in the pits? No, it wasn't. So yeah, it does hop back. So where does this put Krabs to Gamer Man Steph? Harrison. Oh man! Oh my goodness! Krabs and Harrison desperate to get past. Oh, and Harrison's got a 10-second penalty. A severe collision with Gamer Man Steph. Oh, how on earth's that happened? So it looked like Harrison was desperate to get the foot down. He's seen Krabs coming. And Steph obviously slowing down to approach the corner. Krabs looks like he was full sending it into that corner. I'm not too sure what happened there, but Gamer Man Steph obviously had to slow down for the corner. But with Harrison also, one eye on Krabs, one eye on Steph. He's maybe ended up in an incident there. Let's go and check his car for damage real quick. The car doesn't look too damaged at all. Both end plates still there. Wing looks intact. But it is a 10-second penalty for Harrison for a severe collision. Could of course be appealed, but again it did look like he was that keen to get out of the pits because he knew Krabs was coming. But Krabs desperate to get in front of Harrison as well, and I mean that is rightly so, but he has run off the track as well. We knows that there's cars coming out the pits, and maybe still trying to take the inside line and having to take evasive manoeuvres at last minute. But yeah, I mean stuff like that's going to happen with a league as competitive as F1XL Division 1, which is also on YouTube. Go and check it out, guys. F1XL on YouTube, where the highlights of this race will be up in the coming days. So Deathlink, the crash out, and Gamerman Steph's left the session here. We're not too sure what happened. We'll try and get him in since it is a safety car. I don't even know if I've got him on my friends list, but we'll have a look. In fact, I should do. Give me a second. Oh wait, he's a PC, isn't he? Is he a PC? No, he's Xbox. Let's have a look for him. So we are back, guys. So safety car is in this lap. Hopefully we did get Gamerman Steph back in. The invite was sent. And he is still ghosted, sadly. Yeah, fantastic view of the crowd there. Hi guys, hope the race is going well for you. And what's going on here? The cameras are bugged. No, they're not. They're fine. Gamerman Steph is back just in time for the restart there. It looked like he did overtake Quick Dead briefly, but it gave the position back. He's getting ready to take control of his car. And Quick Dead looking to get this race going. And MC Jamie B and JJ will be happy this as MC Jamie B is back on course. He is back in the action. As Gamerman Steph, his car does come back in for whatever reason. And that's ruined his race. That's the AI probably boxed him. And Harrison sitting with a 10-second penalty. And Quick Dead leads the pack, and Harrison second, Sportmad third, Krabs fourth. Now this is going to be a really interesting fight because Sportmad and Krabs had a right old scrap near the end of the last stint. And obviously both of them now on fresh tyres. Sportmad with a 1 lap younger tyre. It'll be interesting to see how Krabs gets on with this, as he's got Twang and Garlic maybe chasing him down on those fresh mediums as well. Judgy gets a 3-second penalty for excess of track limits. We are seeing the penalties starting to rack up here. And just as I'm taking a drink, Jamie B and Judgy having a right old scrap, and Jamie B has a little bash through. Slight contact there, and Judgy maybe ran out a little bit too wide. MC Jamie B does eventually get moved on, but it is Judgy who's maybe picked up a little bit of damage there. And MC Jamie B looking to get back in the mix here pretty quickly. We'll hop on the leaders here real quick as we're going to see if Gamerman Steph's back in. He is. Car's no longer ghosted, but that is incredibly frustrating for the Dutchman. Obviously retired. Didn't retire, I do apologise. He disconnected under safety car, and the AI car has brought him into the pits right after the safety car, which makes no sense. Anyway, we move on, and it's Harrison who's currently chasing down Quick Dead. Quick Dead left Sportmad and Krabs to their own devices earlier on. Gamerman Steph as well, and now leading this race after the restart. Harrison now with DRS open. Hop on board with Harrison here. He's not close enough, not just yet. And Sportmad behind as well, still. The Krabs still following with Twangy. Garlic's starting to come into the mix himself there. What am I doing here? That's what we're doing. That's better. It's now hidden my spectator view, so I can't see that properly. That's a great bug. I don't mind that. In fact, oh, we can hide that. Right, okay, that's even better. How did I not know that? Oh, what an idiot. Anyway, all these weeks I've been commentating, guys, and I've only just noticed you can hide that. Unbelievable, as we do have a yellow flag, and it's Gamerman Steph who's day gets from bad to worse in the McLaren, and yeah, that's I cannot even fathom the frustration from the McLaren driver, but he is going to continue, and we'd love to see that. Quick Dead still in the lead, Harrison second, Sport Mad, Crabs fourth, Twine Garlic looking to catch these guys as well. Dixie back fighting MC Jamie B. MC Jamie B looking to get the move done on McLaren driver here. He got the move done in the previous lap on Judgy, who is struggling quite a lot on those mediums. Those medium tyres are not the tyre to be on in this track, it seems. And Jamie B on the inside. Dixie gives him plenty of space. That's really good driving there from the McLaren driver, and we'll see Crabs up to third position. Quick Dead falling back. Quick Dead must have had some sort of incident there at that corner. He has dropped to fourth. He was second. He was first. But now Harrison leading the race. Sport Mad following closely behind. Quick Dead frustrated again. He was leading the races. Gamerman Steph picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. I've not seen that one. Usually it tells you for track limits or whatever. It doesn't tell you that in capital letters normally, but yeah, that's good to see. Get rid of that tyre detail, more to see in the camera. We love that. There we go. So Harrison leading the pack. Sport Mad 7 tenths behind, and Crabs only 5 tenths behind him. Quick Dead looking to give Crabs a bit of company here, as they're all going to have DRS bar Harrison. This is shaping up to be a tasty end of this race with 11 laps to go. Halfway through the 18th lap, about to start lap 19. And Gamerman Steph's course, after a couple of incidents unfortunately for him, he's still sitting in the points, so it is worth his time to continue. So you see JJ and Judgy having a little bit of a scrap. We'll hop back to the leaders here real quick, as Quick Dead looking to really get past this racing build driver Crabs, who's a little bit unfortunate in the pits, and then obviously with the maybe a minor incident, shall we say, as Harrison and Gamerman Steph were coming out the pits. He did run into the grass a little bit as well. Not too sure what happened there. We'd have to watch it back in the replay, but it could have been a case of just both, all three drivers desperate to get back out on track in front of each other. But again, that's racing. These things happen. Not going to dwell on it too much, but Quick Dead getting really close here to Crabs, who's fallen back from Sport Mad slightly. There's maybe a little bit of a mistake there from the racing build driver. But he's catching up quite quickly here. Gamerman Steph, oh sorry, not Gamerman Steph, Quick Dead does close up, but it looks like Crabs maybe even running setup 5. That's how quick he's looking on the straights. As is obviously a preset league, and it does make the racing a lot closer, with nobody running the typical meta setups for each track. And we do love the preset only setup here in F1XL. The Sportman still happy to sit in second position here. Not quite close enough to Harrison, who's doing a good job of keeping those guys at bay so far. I'm going to hop on board with Judgy and JJ, who are still having a little bit of a scrap here for 8th position, as Judgy does get passed on a DRS straight down the start finish line. Twang Garlic, MC Jamie B gets himself up to 5th position. And Twang Garlic maybe starting to struggle a little bit on those mediums, as those mediums, it seemed, were not the tyre to be on. And a lot of guys did struggle. We did see Deathlink struggle quite a lot on them, and we did see Sport Mad struggling a little bit as well. And I've seen Twang Garlic maybe coming back at him, and he's brought Dixie for company. And Twang Garlic on Jamie B for 5th position here. He's not quite close enough to get a move done. Dixie also keeping him company. We've also seen a little lovely scrap between JJ and Judgy here. Try saying that 3 times when you're drunk. I'll say it in about half an hour, but I'm drunk. I'm only joking. So Gamer Man Steph as well, just doing his own things, happily sitting in, well, he's not happily, I'd be fuming if I was him, but I mean, it is still points at the end of the day, and it is worth finishing as JJ does come into the pits. And Gamer Man Steph will be happy to see that. It's just another position for him. I'll hop back with leaders here, and we're going to see Twangy Garlic still having a scrap with MC Jamie B here. And MC Jamie B's race maybe hindered at the start with the drive-through. Again, not too sure why he got the drive-through, as JJ I think got the other drive-through. Was it JJ or Judge? I can't remember. I really need to start taking notes in these races, guys. I do apologise. Amateur commentator here. And Krabs really close to Sportmad there, looking to maybe make a move down the inside here in the right-hander. Sportmad having a little look as well, letting Harrison know he's there. And Krabs really on the case of the Ferrari as well, as Quick Dead falling back a little slightly here. 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go I should say. And it is getting quite tight at the top there. The top 4 only separated by about 2 seconds. Krabs gets a dynamite run coming out of that second corner, but it's not close enough to put the move on Sportmad just yet, who's sitting on, I believe, a 3-second penalty. Just bring up that detail real quick for you guys, just so you can see. So, as it stands, Harrison with a 10-second penalty for a severe collision with Gamer Man Steph coming out of the pits. Sportmad for track limits, and the other 3-second penalties you can see are for track limits as well. Harrison and Sportmad on the hard tyre. Krabs also on the hard tyre, but they're the lap holder. Twangy Garlic on the mediums, Judgy on the mediums, and JJ, who's just came out to finish the race on the mediums as well. And as it stands, guys, look at that. Harrison currently sitting where he started. Sportmad also sitting where he started. Krabs up 1 position, Quick Dead up 1, MC Jamie B up 2. Unbelievably after his drive-through. Dixie up 1, Judgy up 3. Gamer Man Steph's lost 6 positions after that bizarre incident with the disconnect and then running wide at the turn 11, I believe. And JJ down 1 position as well. You see Sportmad still looking to reel in Harrison here, but Harrison making it very difficult for him, and Krabs making it quite difficult as well, as they are just kind of meandering along the end of this race. As you see MC Jamie B maybe looking to get up there as well, but he is falling back slightly. But the most important thing for him here is that he is pulling away from Twangy Garlic. He's now 1.7 seconds behind, and look how close Quick Dead is. He's looking to make a move here on Krabs. He's a 10th back, and this could get really close here for Racing Bull. He's not decided to go for it just yet, Quick Dead, but he is lining it up. Gets that DRS open so quickly as he crosses that line, and again Krabs just pulls away just so much. I think he must be running setup 5 tonight. The other guys maybe running setup 4. And that straight line speed difference between 4 and 5 is just absolutely massive, as you can see how difficult it is for Quick Dead to get past. But Harrison just eking out a slight gap here, as he is now 7/10 ahead of Sportmad. He was 6/10 the lap before, so he looks to be in a bit of a rhythm here, Harrison, and Sportmad is struggling to bring him back in, but the DRS zones are keeping him in it at the moment. Krabs still currently sitting in P3, with Quick Dead sitting 4th. And we can see the gap now up to 7 seconds for MC Jamie B, as that DRS advantage is absolutely massive around here. And looks like Sportmad could be in a bit of bother here, as he is going to lose DRS, it seems, to Harrison, who has just really put the boost button on, and he is increasing that gap ever so slightly, but Sportmad maybe struggling to cope a little bit. We're going to hop on board quickly with Dixie here, who's just got the DRS open, looking to make a move on Twang Garlic. You two again, boys. You two again. For context, guys, in the last maybe 6-7 weeks that I've been commentating in Division 1, these two have been joint at the hip. They're fighting every race. As you see, Gamer Man Steph picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple track limits. And Dixie and Twang Garlic always fighting. They've had a fantastic season together. The racing's been tremendous. And it's been a joy to watch and skim through watching these guys having a battle. It's been a really, really great fight as they fight for P6. And it's Dixie looking in the inside. Twangy goes a little bit defensive. Dixie on the inside just gives him just enough room there, and that's a beautiful move there from Dixie, who's moved himself up to P6. And he obviously does have the 3-second penalty. And maybe Twangy Garlic just happy to let him go, just rather play the risk of an incident. But now Sportmad under pressure from Krabs here. Really under pressure. Sportmad really struggling to stick with Harrison here, and he was really quick round that section, and Krabs just seems to fall back there, and that's definitely setup 5 he's running. He is struggling round some of the corners, but the straight line speed is just tremendous in that Racing Bull, and as he does get a big slide on there, and he's pushing the limits of that car as Krabs, and doing tremendously well. And if he is on setup 5, I believe he is. Doing a fantastic job sitting in P3 at the moment. As we are now on lap 26 and 29. And it's been an absolutely, some people would say a bore fest. I would say it's quite an interesting race. And the strategy involved with the battery usage and the DRS. It's been really a good watch here in Melbourne. There's a massive difference between that and the race last week, which we won't talk any more about. But see, Sportmad has managed to catch back up to Harrison here, who's maybe starting to struggle on those tyres a little bit as well. And Sportmad really reacting to the pressure that Krabs has put him under. He's reacted quite well, and he's managed to put the foot down a little bit more, and that's allowed Krabs and Quick Dead also to get the foot down, as they're just happy to maybe sit here at the moment, maybe look to make moves in the last couple of laps as we come up to start lap 27. It's been a very interesting race across the field, obviously with Twangy Garlic and Dixie having a right old scrap, and obviously with these front four as well, minus unfortunately Gamerman Steph. I would have loved to have seen him in the mix tonight. Obviously with the disconnection issue that he maybe had on the safety car restart, which did pit his car annoyingly, but he was reeling in Judgy here ever so slightly. But he is sitting with a 6-second penalty. I'm not too sure what Judge is sitting on. So Judge is sitting on 3. So Gamerman Steph's got 2 laps to get past Judge and then pull another 3-second gap. It's going to be tight. But we're going to hop over to the front here again, as we did see how close these guys are getting. Again, just no movement from the top 4 as of yet. And Sportman's still sitting with the 3-second penalty as well, and we'll be kicking himself with that. And Krabs with no penalties yet, neither is Quick Dead. And MCJMB 10 seconds behind now, with his closest driver being Dixie in 6th position, and Twangy Garlic keeping him good company as always. And Judge is sitting almost on his own, but Gamerman Steph's keeping him for company, and this could be a move on Gamerman Steph. Not quite yet, but it is looking like Gamerman Steph has brought him in every lap. Just cutting that time away. And it now looks like it could be a move here for the McLaren driver on the Alpine. Because the Alpine just gets a little bit shaky coming out of that corner. Judgy maybe considers a defensive move. He does go on the inside. That was going to compromise his move, but he has moved back onto the racing line. Gamerman Steph, he's not going to make it easy for him as Judgy. He's going Gamerman Steph now round the outside. And Judgy still... Oh, slight contact there. Judgy sure could have maybe have given him more room in the inside there, but Gamerman Steph did cut across, and we see development at the front as Quick Dead gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. And that's almost everyone bar Krabs at the front now sitting with penalties, with the 1 lap remaining. And are we going to see any last minute, last ditch moves here? A slight drama with the pits there, with Harrison gaining a 10-second penalty by crashing into the back of Gamerman Steph on the pit exit. And Sport Mad with the track limit penalties as well. And Krabs with no penalties as of yet. And Quick Dead just gained himself a little penalty in the last lap with a track limit at everyone's favourite left-right hander, as he is now. He's looking like he's struggling on those tyres slightly. As he does power slide coming out of that little area where the wee tennis court is. Don't know if you knew what that was, but now you know. And Quick Dead maybe looking to get a move done on Krabs here. He's not out of the woods yet, as Krabs is. Quick Dead deploying all that battery on all that DRS as well. And Sport Mad, he's got a bit of breathing room. He's now a second difference between himself and any other car around him. And the top 4 have been inseparable from the very start, it seems, obviously. Gamerman Steph unfortunately hitting that incident as Dixie picks up a penalty, everyone's favourite track limit corner it seems, but it does say that Harrison does come across the line in P1, but it looks like Krabs is going to win that race on penalty count back. It is Krabs who wins the Melbourne Grand Prix. Sport Mad second, Quick Dead third, Harrison fourth, MC Jamie B with a lovely recovery drive to fifth. Dixie comes across the line in sixth. Twanga Garlic comes across, and the penalty count back for Dixie puts him to 7th. Twanga Garlic comes 6th in the end. Gamerman Steph gets some points on the board, finishing 8th after these earlier issues, and we see JJ at the end there just intentionally crashing out more ways than one. He's giving us a bit of a show here, we do enjoy that. A bit of a 50-50 grind down the pit straight there. And we love to see that. Nice one, JJ. And that wraps up Melbourne, guys. And it's that man, once again, Krabs, who wins. And for classifications, Crab is race winner. Fastest lap set by TTRE Harrison. MC Jamie B is the driver of the day. Most overtakes by Harrison as well. Crab's cleanest driver. And full classification, guys. Well, Crabs obviously won the race. Sport Mad second. Quick Dead third. Harrison fourth. MC Jamie B in fifth. Twanga Garlic sixth. Dixie in seventh. Followed by Gamerman Steph in 8th position. Judgy 9th. JJ in 10th. Deathlink DNF'd at turn 8, I think it was. He hit the barrier. So there we have it, guys. Personal driver of the day. I mean, it's really hard to pick one here. Is not the huge amount of action, but I think, who did I give driver of the day to here? Ah, man, that's a tough call. I think driver of the day has to go to MC Jamie B, obviously, with, looks like he had the drive-through penalty at the start, and then he's recovered quite well to finish where he did there, so I'll perhaps maybe give it to him, or Sport Mad. Sport Mad obviously maintaining his position in which he qualified, after all the fighting with him and Harrison and Krabs and Quick Dead. I think I need to give my driver of the day. I will give MC Jamie B an honourable mention for his recovery drive. Very good job. But I think driver of the day is going to go down to Sport Mad. Just because of Kept himself fairly clean, maybe say. Maybe a couple of incidents maybe affected him slightly. Maybe especially on that medium tyre, but I think he gets driver of the day for me. It is such a hard pick because the race was a funny one tonight, but thoroughly enjoyable. Again, guys, yep, that's rounds up Australia. Next week we are gonna be. Where are we gonna be, guys? I will tell you right now. That's what I'll do. I'll tell you right now where we are once I load it up. I'm so unprepared, it's unbelievable. So next week we're in the incredible track that is Hungary. So bring a blanket and pillow, guys, because it's going to be. Maybe it's always shaped up to be a fairly quiet race. Hungary's a track that you can't really get a really good overtake on, and it's quite a tight track, but it's not even a favourite in real life for a lot of spectators and drivers alike. So it is quite a tricky track in this game as well. But we'll see how it pans out. Yeah, so next week we are Hungary, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed, guys. If you're watching this back on YouTube, please make sure to follow and like and subscribe to F1XL. And if you're not a driver and you fancy having a wee go, then why not come and join us? We race every Sunday night.